It's the Chinese New Year season, so 恭喜发财. So recently we just received the Crane 3 Lab, and then we had a bit of fun with this. And then we did a quick video. So let's move into this, okay? So one of the first things we take note of is the fact that the Crane 3 Lab is meant for a heavier body, and hence it's actually more for bigger productions. For Red String Video Co, we actually do a lot of work in events, and if I were to compare this with the WeBuild Lab, which I just reviewed earlier on, obviously it's not fair. It's like comparing apples and oranges, but I think it'll be more relevant for me, from my point of view, because we happen to do events and we are quite comfortable in that kind of environment. So, so take what I have to say with a pinch of salt, because I'm coming from the point of view of an events shooter. But of course, we have a few major productions coming up, and then as we move into that, I think I'll start to use the Crane 3 Lab more for those kind of productions. And of course, I'll start to go into depth about the other features that this baby can do. First thing for a start, I like the fact that this gimbal can take a heavier payload, and immediately that's actually the first thing that we actually brought this out to do. So we did a short video introducing what Red String Video Co is coming up with next, and that was actually purposely done because one of the problems I faced was that for the WeBuild Lab, we were using a 1635mm on the 7S2 body. That was already almost at the limit of payload that is acceptable for the gimbal. Of course, plus the fact that we actually like to use a Manfrotto-based quick-release plate as an addition to the gimbal, so that we can easily switch between all the accessories that we have. That made the center of gravity a bit high. And when we have productions which require us to use sound, for example, it becomes a lot harder to manage, because we will not be able to feed the sound directly into the 7S2 without it being a bit off balance. So for this case, in this case for the Crane 3 Lab, we were able to place our wireless mic receiver on the top of the camera, and was still able to balance. And in fact, that was what we were doing. So, but of course, one thing is that it got very heavy. But as a result, we were able to take the kind of video log videos where we record ourselves walking with the camera, speaking into the camera directly as a video log. So in terms of the build, this piece of equipment really feels a lot more solid. So it's metal, and then the plastic is of better quality. And of course, you have one of these quick release things at the bottom as well, which was one of the features that I really love about WeBuild Lab, and I think they brought it here as well. It really feels very solid in your hands. So that's what I really like about this thing. So when you hold this thing, you really feel, yeah, that you're ready to go. So one of the things that I like was this this handle, this additional handle. So one thing is that operating with one arm is not easy, because this is pretty heavy. You can probably last for a while, but the stability, of course, will be an issue. So having an additional handle helps. The handle itself is where the display is, and you have all these functions on the side of the handle, as well as on the trigger button over here. So on the handlebar, you have three features on the sides where the thumb is. You have the follow, F, the POV, point of view, and RE, which is reset, which is a very useful function. You have the go, which is right next to the display. And then on the left hand, you have the PF, pan follow, and L, lock. So at first, I thought it was very strange to position the two functions in the two separate areas, right? But then I realized these two functions, these two features here, the pan follow as well as the lock, makes it very easy for you to just convert to your underslung directly. So this is one feature that I slowly got used to it, even though it felt very odd. So of course, the other features that we can't go into yet because we haven't actually fixed them on are these focus controllers. We have a follow focus as well as a zoom controller. Because in events coverage, as I mentioned, we seldom use these features. So for now, I'm already pretty happy with what I have given this setup. If you want to watch the video that we made in Chinatown for this Chinese New Year, You can of course view the videos at the link below. So we hope that you have a wonderful Chinese New Year if you celebrate Chinese New Year. If not, if you're a Singaporean, happy holidays then. Thank you for watching. I'm Wai Kin from Red String Video Co.